Hello, my name is Gabriela Flores, and this is my speech on a major problem that college students face. Many students face problems with financial affordability. This can come through tuition costs rising and the stressors of affording such costs. This leads to another issue, which is student loan debt. Student loan debt has increased over the past 20 years. They are the largest contributors that college students face and are most afraid of. But the major problem that college students are still encountering to this day is stress and depression. According to an article written by Scholarship America, 70% of college students reported feeling stressed about their finances. Although many individuals may find that going to college is something easy to do, but for some it may not be the case. College has been a topic that has been the main focus in everyone's lives, but these issues are very much still present. Therefore, it may be a daunting task to do, and some may not even venture into this step at all. Let me discuss how each of these issues affects college students financially, emotionally, and physically. Now that I have gone over my introduction, let me delve into one of my points of interest. Tuition and its cost. The cost of tuition has risen since the 1980s, and the price of a public four-year college has doubled since that time. Many college students are faced with a hefty price tag on a college tuition, and many aren't able to afford the cost of it all. As time continues to pass, the demand for higher education has risen dramatically, therefore increasing the fear of not obtaining a post-secondary education. Many students come from families that can't compete with the cost of education, and many students feel that college is completely out of the question. Why is college so expensive, you may ask? Some universities experience lack of funding along with the booming crisis of affording staff and faculty, as well as buildings for new students. Due to the cost of tuition, many millennials are facing financial struggles that the previous generation didn't have to worry about. This includes meal planning, room and board, and textbooks. The fear of obtaining or affording a proper meal is what most college students fear of not obtaining at all. This is causing most students to feel food insecure. According to an article written by Business Insider, the average college and university charges about $4,500 or $18.75 per day for a 3-meal-a-day dining contract. Imagine having all this pressure daunting on you before you even begin to venture on your educational journey. After discussing my first point, let's discuss my second point. Student loan debt. Many students are able to afford their tuition fees, housing fees, and meal plans. Therefore, they are getting into debt. Loans are available to students that face such problems with continuing their education. Student loans are available to low-income families to assist with the cost of tuition and books. The problem with student loans is that many college students are graduating with more than $100,000 in debt. Student debt affects those in the middle class the most. Some students that come from such backgrounds tend to have to pay out of pocket. According to an article written by Scholarship America, students from families earning between $40,000 to $59,000 per year racked up 60% more debt than lower income students. This causes many students to shoulder more debt than they can afford to pay back. Student loan debt has a negative impact on recent college graduates as well. This affects them when seeing a higher paying job, and this is mainly due to the fact that they have a couple of months to start repaying their debt as soon as they graduate. Therefore, they have to settle for lower paying jobs immediately. The thought of being on debt for education causes many students to think twice about attending college at all. After venturing into this point, let's discuss how this affects students mentally and physically. This brings me to my third point. Stress and depression. Many college students face financial stress. The stress for college students can be quite overwhelming, especially if it's their first time being independent. Students have to deal with the rise of tuition costs, student loan debt, and finding a job to repaying that debt. Therefore, many students try to obtain employment through work study in college or through a local employer. Working hours takes away from studying hours, which leads to stress as well. In fact, these two factors can lead up to academic stress. Not being able to attend class, write papers on time, and preparing for exams all lead to stress. For new students with a flexible schedule will often pick up bad habits and lead up to poor academic advancements and will increase their stress level. Future stress also amplifies financial stress. As the college student strives to pursue an education for their future career, it may pose as a stress factor. Many students who have not decided on the career path or choice experience an increase in stress. College students want to pursue a better life than those of their parents because their generation proves to be the most successful. Many students avoid talking or thinking about the future. This is known as the Peter Pan syndrome. This syndrome affects students as they fear of the repercussions of growing up. When encountering these types of stress levels, many students develop depression. Depression and anxiety have increased among college students, and many students have stated that their mental health is deteriorating and causes them to perform poorly within their studies. According to an article written by Affordable Colleges Online, over 39% of college students felt so depressed that it was difficult to function, and over 60% of college students have felt overwhelmed by anxiety at least once in the last 12 months. Also, around 31% of college students have seriously considered suicide. Depression can affect anyone at any time, but college students report to undergo depression quite increasingly. Many college students refuse to seek help as it would affect them socially. This was the end of my third point of what college students face. Now I will close my speech. There are various issues as to what college students encounter. As I have stated before, the many factors that affect college students, whether it may be tuition costs, debt, stressors, and emotional factors as well. All of these factors are presented with the utmost honesty. Although it may seem like quite a lot to handle, the future of what a college education may bring is worth pursuing. To quote Christian D. Larson, "Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle." I found this quote to resonate with how many college students feel today. But there is hope, and many students should not close themselves off. In the end, college students should look for financial assistance, suicide and depression help through counseling offered on campus, and contact their loan providers for tools on how to reduce their student loan debt. There will always be help offered when needed. This is my name is Gabriela Flores, and this has been my speech on the major problems college students face.